Hey there guys and girls, you know who it is, and someone's created an absolutely fantastic Just Cause 4 map. Found it on the Just Cause subreddit, created by someone called Kev Backer. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, I'm sorry if I haven't. This is a fan-made map, and it's sort of like a love letter to... Who are you? Thank you for the absolutely useless notification. Everything down from the detail to the map, to the logo, to the key he's created so you can understand everything from the train tracks, to the tunnels, to the roads, the islands around the outside, the airports. I think there's 5 of them. He split up the map into distinct biomes as well. You should feel really proud of yourself, bro. So yeah, let's dive right into this. We're going to start on the top leftmost section of the map. It seems to be the most mountainy area compared to the rest. Just a general overview, there does seem to be less roads compared to the other parts of the map, but however there are more tunnels, which makes perfect sense. The train tracks seem to have been unable to penetrate further into the island, and as such they only really follow the southern coast for dipping inland around the mountains towards the right section of the map. There aren't any roads leading up the mountain, so that is something I believe will be changed compared to the actual map in Just Cause 4. There are 2 airports on this section of the map. They are the 2 largest airports as well. The one at the top left and the one at the bottom right of this section. The one at the top left seems to also be around a town. That's really tucked away around to the side, so it's going to be interesting to see how... It would be interesting to see how people could fly from that airport around to other sections of the map. There is a river of some kind going down the map from the center down to the coast, and there is a small road that sort of trails along it, and there's a town right at the end. And that's actually sort of cool idea that you have like mountains everywhere around your town with, you know, a really large lake to the bottom. There's not really much area to put a town, so all of the houses would most likely be tucked like on the side or almost into parts of the cliff. It'd be really awesome to see. There does seem to be a large variation in the section of the map as well. We have the more craggy areas slightly to the left of the center of the map, and we have the mountainous but flatter areas to the right, which is where this cluster of roads is, and I'm not sure what this is. I'm gonna choose to believe until at least someone, the creator of this map, steps in and says, hey, that's not right. But I'm choosing to believe this is some sort of enemy base, because these roads are not structured like the rest of the roads where there are towns. Like for example, just to the right here, we have a really nice coastal town on this peninsula. It's not really set out like that, so I believe it could potentially be a large enemy base, and that would be cool. That would be cool to see in Just Cause 4. Right to the end of the longest peninsula, I suppose, there is another town, and you have pictures of people, and they're like standing at the edge of these really huge peninsulas and having just a building at the top of that, being able to see in like almost every direction. There's just sea. That would be incredible to look at, to see. And then the lower section of the map, which is cut off from the rest of it, but we do have mountainous areas on the side here, so I'm going to lump this in together in the same section. It does flatten out towards the right side of the small island, which is where we have the largest airport of the entire fan-made map. The train tracks do briefly follow onto this section of island. There do seem to be several runways, so if there ever is a multiplayer, this airport is going to be the airport where you want to be. And yeah, that's an overview of this section of the map. Now we're going to follow the bridge to the right section of the map. So the rightmost section of the map seems to be more of a rocky, hilly area compared to the mountainous area to the left. And this is where the largest city of this map is, and you can even see the creator of the map has put in the circle for the stadiums that we've seen briefly in the Just Cause 4 trailers. This is a very large city. This isn't anything to shrug at. We've got a couple of roundabouts in there as well. There's a dock. I think this is the first one I've seen so far in this video. And this is where we start to see some of the motorway exchanges, which are prevalent, especially on this section of the map, just to the left and to the right here. Now, the creator of this map has still put in variations, so despite this being a rocky area, there are like slight mountainous areas to the side over here. There is a really nice arching river that goes further into the island, and it would be really interesting to see some of these bridges right next to each other. Because just imagine destroying one bridge, the larger bridge, and having it collide into the smaller railroad bridge, and then just watching the trains fly off it. You could do that in Just Cause 3 as well, but not quite to the same extent, not quite to the same, you know, stepping stone domino effect. I'm not sure if this section down here is an airport. I hope it is, because, you know, more airports is better. We do have a very, I think this is the longest peninsula in this map, and there's a road which connects all the way to the end, and there does seem to be some sort of, I'm not sure, something at the end there, because the road doesn't just end, it has a little like circle. Going back towards the center of the map, we have a town overlooking another lake slash river, and what seems to be some sort of natural forming dam. It would be really cool to see such natural phenomena in the real Just Cause 4 map. Just having something absolutely insane, like, you know, a naturally forming dam. That's not exactly something you see every day. Some more rocky mountainous areas here. You can definitely tell they're more rocky compared to the mountainous areas because there's more erosion compared to the snowy areas to the side. And then something that I really think is really, really interesting is this side section of the map to the left here, where there does seem to be terraced cliffs, and that would be something really cool to see in the Just Cause 4 games. You could like race along one of them if the terrace is large enough. You could have races along it, and you'd have like a huge section just to be able to just drive across. The railroad follows the center of the map this time because there's less mountainous areas in this map, and it does eventually end at a train yard, which is something new to the Just Cause series. That would be really cool, just having all of the trains just sitting there, just waiting and ready for you to screw around with, blow them up, tow them anywhere. Imagine if you could hijack trains. You could connect the carriages you want. Maybe you could increase the train speed so it derails at the next corner, and then you can just jump off and watch the carnage as it crashes into an enemy base. That would be awesome. We have another airport just off the railroad yard, showing off another motorway exchange. There is a mountainous area to the side here with a small coast-side town, which is definitely something that I enjoy seeing. Another natural forming dam, it seems, where this intersection is. And if we go a little further now, we have another island which is connected via roads, and once again there is a town of some sort on that, judging from the way the roads are laid out. So we do get a lot of island variation with this fan-made map, and that is something that I'm hoping they do bring into Just Cause 4. Just, you know, lots of smaller islands you can explore. We do have confirmation of the Aztec temples as well. So having those scattered around on like separate islands and such would be really cool. Finally, moving along to the longest freestanding bridge to the next island, which is the general plains or potentially forested areas. So first of all, I'm just going to stick with this bridge for a second. If this bridge was in the game and this was destructible, that would be so awesome. I believe this is the second largest city once we move on to the island. Again with a stadium, and this does seem to be based directly off of from the gameplay trailer, I believe. We do have another airport just to the side here. It's a coastal airport, which is something new. We have some slight mountains or hills to the north of that town. And to the side here, we have a lot of fragmented islands from this lake. That could be really cool to see. This would be a really awesome place to have some sort of like boat race slalom mission, or just being able to just, you know, try and escape from the authorities, the Black Hand. We have this section of the map does in fact have the most bridges out of the rest of the sections of the map by I think 5 or 6 at least. If we follow over to the left here, we got a major roundabout followed by a couple of towns next to each other, a rather large section with its own airport as well. And of course, how could we forget the volcano? This is one of the center points of this section of the map. Having a volcano, I think since it occurred in Just Cause 3, having a volcano is it's definitely something that people will look forward to. And I hope there's more interaction if there is a volcano in Just Cause 4, because the volcano in Just Cause 3, besides from being the final mission, there wasn't really any reason to be there, which is such a shame because there is some really fantastic terrain around, especially around the back of the volcano. There's just huge, like, arching areas of land. It's really good. There's some really amazing verticality on that section of Just Cause 3, and it wasn't really explored that much. I hope we can bring that forward to the volcano in Just Cause 4. Just to the north here, we have another airport, or that could potentially be a dock. It looks like there's some sort of roundabouts, or maybe silos, just to the side of that. Once we cross over the centermost lake, which cuts the island into pieces. And again, showing off these motorway exchanges. I think having some large motorway exchanges would be really cool. And then if we go a little further north, we have what look to be a lot of farmland, and that is also something I hope returns to Just Cause 4. There were some large wheat fields in Just Cause 3. There does seem to be a small town at the center of these farmlands, and there does seem to be a couple of very small sections of road, which I'm going to also guess are small towns. And to the right of this section is some slight mountainous areas with a town at the center. We've got another peninsula here. We have peninsulas everywhere in this map, actually, not gonna lie. That's everything. This map is insane. And honestly, if this was the real map for Just Cause 4, I would not be complaining in the slightest. We have variation. We got a large amount of bridges you can blow up. I'm pretty sure there are more bridges to blow up in this fan-made map than there are in Just Cause 3. The effort that was put into this is absolutely outstanding. Kev, you deserve a gold star. I'll put a link to his post on Reddit in the description below. Besides from that, you know who this has been. Subscribe for more content like this, and see you guys later. Peace.